Welcome back to Finance Plus Investment, the channel dedicated to helping you win with your money. Today, we're diving into 10 proven strategies to boost your credit score fast. Think of your credit score like your financial GPA. It tells lenders how responsible you are with money. Let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with the most crucial factor in determining your credit score: paying your bills on time. Late payments are like a giant red flag to lenders. They signal that you might be irresponsible with money, and that's the last thing you want them to think. Late payments or missing payments can lower your score more than any other factor, so making regular on-time payments is one of the best ways to bring it back up. Now, I know life gets busy, and it's easy to forget a due date or two. That's why I recommend setting up automatic payments for all your bills. This way, you never miss a payment, and you can kiss those late fees goodbye. But here's the catch. Before you go crazy with autopay, make sure you have enough money in your account to cover all those payments. Overdraft fees can really put a dent in your progress, so be mindful of your spending and keep track of your balances. Trust me, getting into the habit of paying your bills on time is the single most effective way to boost your credit score and show lenders that you're responsible with their money. So, make it a priority, set up those automatic payments, and watch your credit score soar. Alright, moving on to our next credit boosting strategy: keeping your credit card balances low. Now, you might be thinking, Graham, I thought using credit cards was a good thing for my credit score, and you're right, it is, but only if you use them responsibly. Lenders look at something called your credit utilization rate, which is the amount of credit you're using compared to your total credit limit. Ideally, you want to keep this number below 30%. So, for example, if your credit limit is $10,000, you should aim to keep your balance below $3,000. My advice? Only charge what you can afford to pay off in full each month. That should be your real credit limit, not the number the credit card company gives you. By keeping your balances low, you're showing lenders that you're responsible with credit and that you're not living above your means. Use them responsibly, keep those balances low, and watch your credit score climb. Alright, let's talk about new credit applications. Applying for too much credit in a short period can actually hurt your score. Every time you apply for a new credit card or loan, it triggers a hard inquiry on your credit report. Think of a hard inquiry like a little ding on your credit score. 1 or 2 hard inquiries probably won't hurt you too much, especially if you have a long and positive credit history. But if you're constantly applying for new credit, it can make you look desperate to lenders. Lenders might think you're in a tough financial spot, and that you're trying to get as much credit as possible before your situation worsens. My advice? Be strategic about your credit applications. Avoid applying for new credit unless you absolutely need it. Be mindful of how many inquiries you have and only apply for new credit when it's absolutely necessary. Alright, let's talk about your credit mix. Having a diverse credit profile can actually be a good thing for your credit score. Lenders like to see that you can handle different types of credit responsibly. If you've only ever had credit cards, lenders only have one data point to go off of. But if you have a mix of credit accounts, say a credit card, a student loan, and a car loan, it shows lenders that you can handle different types of debt responsibly. However, don't go out and open a bunch of new accounts just to improve your credit mix. Every new account can trigger a hard inquiry, which can temporarily lower your score. The key here is to build a diverse credit mix organically over time. As you go through life and need to borrow money for things like education, transportation, or a home, make sure you're making your payments on time and managing your debt responsibly. Focus on using credit responsibly, and your credit score will reflect that. Let's talk about the age of your credit history. Lenders like to see that you have a long and established credit history. It shows that you've been managing credit responsibly for a significant amount of time, which can make you a less risky borrower in their eyes. The important thing is that you start building your credit history as soon as possible. One of the best things you can do is keep your oldest credit accounts open even if you don't use them anymore. Closing old accounts can actually shorten your credit history, which can hurt your score. Those old accounts are like trophies on your credit shelf. Keep those old accounts open and active, even if it's just making a small purchase every few months to keep them from going dormant. Alright, let's talk about the importance of checking your credit report regularly. You can't improve what you don't track, right? Think of your credit report like your financial report card. The good news is that you're entitled to a free credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, every year. That means you can check your report for free every 4 months. When you get your report, take some time to review it carefully. Make sure all the information is accurate and that there are no errors. Checking your credit report regularly is like doing a financial health checkup. It allows you to catch any errors, identify areas for improvement, and track your progress over time. We just talked about the importance of checking your credit report regularly. But what happens if you find an error? Don't panic. You have the right to dispute any inaccuracies you find. The credit bureaus are legally obligated to investigate and correct any errors on your report. The process is actually pretty straightforward. You can usually dispute errors online, by mail, or by phone. Be sure to provide as much documentation as possible to support your claim, such as copies of bills, payment confirmations, or any other relevant documents. While you're waiting for the credit bureau to investigate your dispute, you can consider placing a credit freeze on your report. This prevents anyone from accessing your credit report, making it much harder for identity thieves to open new accounts in your name. Don't be afraid to dispute any errors you find on your report. It's your financial future on the line, so be proactive and protect yourself. Alright, let's revisit credit utilization. We touched on this earlier, but it's such an important factor in your credit score that it deserves its own chapter. Remember, credit utilization refers to the percentage of available credit you're currently using. The golden rule here is to aim for a credit utilization rate of 30% or less. The easiest and most effective way to keep your credit utilization in check is to pay your credit card balances in full each month. This way, you're not carrying a balance and your utilization stays low. Just be mindful of your spending and make sure your total outstanding balance is always below that 30% threshold. Even a small decrease in your credit utilization can make a big difference in your score. Alright, let's talk about credit monitoring services. These services act like an early warning system for your credit, alerting you to any suspicious activity or changes in your report. Credit monitoring services can track things like new credit inquiries, changes in your credit limits, new accounts opened in your name, and even potential identity theft. They can also provide you with your credit score and help you understand the factors that are affecting it. There are a ton of different credit monitoring services out there, some free and some paid. Credit monitoring can be a valuable tool for protecting your credit and detecting fraud early on. Alright, in this chapter we're going to tackle a couple of more challenging credit situations, dealing with old accounts and delinquencies. Let's start with old accounts. As we discussed earlier, the age of your credit history plays a significant role in your credit score. The longer you've had credit accounts in good standing, the better it is for your score. So, what should you do with those old credit cards you never use anymore? The answer is simple. Keep them open. Closing old accounts can actually shorten your credit history, which can have a negative impact on your score. Now let's talk about delinquencies. These are accounts that haven't been paid on time or at all, and they can really drag down your score. If you have any delinquent accounts, it's crucial to take action to resolve them as soon as possible. So, there you have it. 10 proven strategies to boost your credit score fast. Remember, building and protecting your credit score takes time and effort, but it's worth it. The real reward is the ease you could have in qualifying for major purchases in the future, like a home, a car, or even funding your education. A good credit score opens doors to financial opportunities and gives you peace of mind knowing you're in control of your finances. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Finance Plus Investment for more tips on managing your finances. Hit that like button and let me know in the comments which strategy you're going to implement first.